Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, November 25th, 2025. We are just 2 days away from my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. This is my favorite week of the NFL season, Thanksgiving week, when the playoff races starting in their big run, and it just gets so exciting. The NFL playoff races really begin. The college football rivalry matchups this weekend, my favorite time of year. Hopefully, y'all will have a great time. Of course, my name's Tim McClellan. This, of course, is my league commissioner, John Natali. How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Yeah, like you said, yeah, this is the best time of the year for football. Fantastic holiday. Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna get feast on some turkey while watching the game, spending time with friends and family, the whole 9 yards.
a whole nine. Now, Mr. John Flynn, the host of Hooked on Sports, he's going to be joining us here in a little while because he's keeping up with I think it's Dancing with the Stars.
Hmm.
I think he watches that show, and he's a big fan, of course, of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So, but he'll be joining us a little bit later. So, well, I guess since okay, well, I'm gonna have to. Y'all just excuse me a little bit. He's not quite on right yet. So technically, right now, I'm at the controls, but I'm going to have to call up the screen here so we can do our fantasy report. And, well, I guess it's obvious while I get the screen ready. It's only obvious now that I've been pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. So, that's pretty much given. Um, so let's see here. Let me get this screen up here. If my laptop will cooperate with me. All right, come on, baby. All right, here we go. I got it. All right, let's get this here. Hey, y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Uh, favorite Thanksgiving game. Okay, now it says not responding. So
Hmm.
of course, if y'all been watching this program for the last couple of years or so, of course, I've mentioned my favorite Thanksgiving game was 1994, Cowboys versus Packers. Uh, that's when a third string quarterback named Jason Garrett had to start for the Cowboys. Had a slow start, but they pretty much dominated in the second half, and they ended up winning that game. So, yeah, that was my favorite here. Okay, we're good. Okay, why? Okay, she's not cooperating. All
Hmm.
right, we're trying to get to the scoreboard here.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say, if it's not loading on your side, we could probably go in reverse order and do hot topics first if it's not working while we wait for Flynn.
okay, I think we're okay. I got the screen. All I have to do is just go to week 12 since that's our since we're recapping that. We'll get the box score. This game, well, guess we'll talk about my matchup first with Lucas. Okay, where's okay? Come on, work with me, babe. Come on, work with me. Oh, the wonders of technology, people. It's just it's an amazing thing sometimes. Okay, so I have that up, so I'm going to go ahead and okay, we'll go ahead and hit the button, share the screen, and it should be coming up anytime now. Oh my goodness.
There we
There.
go.
Okay, let me go ahead and switch this down. So in this first matchup here, it was Lucas with a very decisive victory over me by a score of 180-14 to 136-36. And looking at the starters, looks like Jahmyr Gibbs just went off
Oh,
with
yeah.
55.4 huge fantasy points. Then James Cook with 21.9. Then we got 16.7 from Puka Nakua Matata. DK Metcalf had 15.4. Ted McMillan, what a great rookie year he's having so far. He went 12.5. Harrison Mavis, the Rams kicker, got 13. He got 10 from the Bill defense special teams, 17-14 from Trevor Lawrence. I tried to find someone that I think I should have, see if I could try to make a trade somewhere with someone, because I didn't feel too good about DeAndre Swift going up against Pittsburgh. And as you can see, he only got me 1.99 points here. I got 17-16 from Jared Goff. CeeDee Lamb, 11.5. I got 24-1 from Rasheed Rice. Blake Cashman got me 16. Got 20 from defense special teams. But this is where I kind of paid the price here. If you could take a look here, I was too scared to put Dak Prescott as my starter this week.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my only excuse. And he, of course, went off for 27.06 points. Bam Knight went 13.2, 15-1 from Jawan Jennings, 16 from Tyrone Tracy. And look at all this here. I don't think I've ever seen a bench with so many zeros on it this week. Well, you had
a lot of them were on the bye, so
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the bye. Benched all of them and started the rest of those. So that drops me to 2-10, and that brings Lucas up to 8-4. Tell you what, let's talk about your matchup with Alex here. You took this matchup by a score of 135-74 to 126-22. Let's take a look at your starters. Looks like you did well.
It went back to your players. And a little glitch there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it shows the faces of my players, but the names of your players. There's a little glitch. Yeah, see, the faces are my players, but the words are your players.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that does not look like Jared Goff. That does not look like DeAndre Swift.
You know something? I think you're right. Maybe I'll have to refresh this page here. Oh my goodness. It's acting up on me. It's acting up on me again.
Yeah. Bertha needs to retire.
Yeah. The only problem is I need to find a good machine I can go ahead and use it, so that way I can go ahead and formally retire Bertha.
Oh yeah.
So we're back to this one here. Okay, now back to your matchup.
Yeah. Let's see if the faces match the names. There we go. The faces match the names now.
There you go. Okay, so you'll take it from me. Something's wrong with my throat. I don't know why, but so let's see here. 24.8 big points from Ashton Genty. You got Brees Hall with 13.9. 31.6 from Wan'Dale Robinson. 11 points from Roquan Swift. 22 from the Rams. And Jake Bates got you 12. Meanwhile, your bench players, Sam Darnold with 17.66. Khalil Shakir, 17 even. And you got 2 players on the IR, Marvin Harrison and Trey Benson. Meanwhile, What about Alex got 22.92 from Matthew Stafford, 14.7 from Bijan Robinson, 12.1 from Javante Williams, 11.5 from Brock Bowers, 20.6 from Travis Etienne, and 18 from Andy Barbagallis. And his bench players, well, got 19 from the Texans and 18.68 from Jacoby Brissett, with two of his players on the IR, Tariq Hill and Mike Evans. All right, now let's see if this works. Now we're going to go get Andrew versus Dino.
Yep, there we go. We're back on track now.
Okay, very, very close finish in this one. 144.36 from Andrew, 142.26 from Dino. Oh yeah, let's see here. So the big numbers here for Andrew: 21.66 from Caleb Williams, 22.8 from Derrick Henry, 16.4 from Darnell Mooney, 16.9 from Jay McBride, 11.1 from Travion Henderson, 15 from the Ravens, and 16 from Harrison Butker. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts got 30.86 in a losing effort to the Cowboys. 23.2 from Devontae Adams, 25 from A.J. Brown, 14.9 from Devontae Smith, Zach Bond with 11, Jaguars got 11, and Tyler Loop had 11. And, well, really not much to say about the bench players. They hardly did anything, so that's where that matchup went up to. Andrew 8-4, Dino is 8-4, and I think they are tied for the final playoff spot. Or
No. And Andrew clinched the division, so he's in.
oh, so Andrew is in.
Yeah, they're in different divisions here. Dino already has a playoff berth. He's just playing for seedings now. That's it.
Yeah.
Andrew's locked into the number 2 seed.
Andrew's locked into number 2. Okay, now let's have this matchup between Casey and David here. And it looks like Casey really got the best of David, 158.78 to 78.86. Well, I guess you can see here the reasons why. I guess he forgot to find a replacement tight end and a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Those players were on the bye, so obviously he didn't get anything there. Got 15.96 from Drake May, got 16.7 from Quinshawn Judkins, 10.7 from Theo Johnson, 14 from the Patriots defense special teams. Over on Casey's side, he had 18.08 from Patrick Mahomes, got 15 from Chase Brown, 11.4 from Rico Dowdle, 37.1 from JSN, who I believe is the best wide receiver in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. Hunter Henry with 24.5. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a big one, 30.9. And viewpoints down here. And at his bench players, Casey has 16.8 point from Danny Dimes. Michael Pittman Jr., 13.7. Jacoby Myers with 15 and 21 from the Browns defense and special teams. Last but not least, we talk about the matchup between Flynn and Adam Oliver. Flynn took this one 125.72 to 110.52. So I guess that means that Adam is the next team to fall, right?
He's not eliminated yet, but he needs a miracle. Yeah, Flynn wrote the scenarios in in the group chat somewhere.
Right. So let's see here. Flynn got 27.2 from CMC, 26.5 from Emmanuel Wilson, 16 from Chris Olave, who's still doing better than I thought he would this year. 13 from Jamie Jamie and Sherwood, linebacker for the Jets. And his bench players, Jalen Warren left 12.8, Kenneth Walker left 13.1. And over on the other side, but Adams' side, 18-2 from Kenneth Gainwell, 21-8 from Michael Wilson, 13-8 from George Kittle, 15 from the defense special teams, and Brandon Aubrey got 6. His bench players, 20 points from Kareem Hunt. That might have made the difference. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think it would have been just a little bit short, but it would have been a lot closer.
A little bit short, yeah. And only 732 from Brock Purdy, because it was the Run CMC show over in San Francisco with that victory over the Carolina Panthers. So now we take a look at the current standings right now. We'll see here. Okay, so we see all these X's and these Y's here. X is clinched playoffs, Y is clinched division. So yep, that's right. Andrew did win his division. I hear he's got an 8-4 record. As we say hello to our good friend, Mr. John Flynn.
How are we doing, everybody? How's it going?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Well, other than something with my voice not being normal, other than that, I'm okay. So we were just recapping last week's action, taking a look at the current standings right now. Saw that Andrew has clinched the Beavis division. And we see over on the Butthead division, we got Flynn, Lucas, and Dino each having a shot have a spot in the playoffs. Meanwhile, I have the dreaded E, which means I have been eliminated from playoff contention. So the only good thing I can do for the rest of the year is play spoiler to someone, I guess. So right now, if our playoffs started this week, which actually will get started, I want to say 2 weeks from now.
There's two games left of the season here.
That's right. This week and next week, there's a final 2 regular season games for us. So still, we'll have Flynn at number 1. We'll have Andrew at number 2. Lucas at 3. Dino at 4. Shelly at 5. And we'll have Casey at 6. And then there you see the matchups for the constellation bracket. I will be facing Adam, and Alex will be going up against David. So that's how that would go.
Quite possible that Flynn and I could have a rematch in the semifinals. Very possible. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we were reminiscing on it in the chat last year.
Yeah. But I have to clinch a spot first, and you don't have the division yet because Dino has the tiebreaker over you.
So what's the secondary tiebreaker since we split? Is it not clinched yet because they have to wait and see on the head-to-head points?
Could be. I think it's points. Yeah.
Yes. So I think if they split, if it's a head-to-head and we split, we it will have to be until the votes until the points come in.
So we will go ahead and now preview our week 13 matchups right now. And looks like let's go ahead and put that up here. I'm going to get us a tally this week.
Yep.
So here's my first chance to possibly play spoiler here.
Yeah, if I lose, then the pressure is on me for the last game.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
most
definitely.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I have to play Casey the last game. That's the worst possible opponent for me to have
Oh yeah.
because he already beat me
Casey's
once.
team is pretty, and Casey's team is loaded.
Yeah.
There it is. So right now I'm predicted. I'm projected at 134.2, while the tally is at 128.0. So I do have. I think I have one uh waiver claim. I'll be waiting to see what happens in the morning. So I guess I probably could put Dak Prescott against that. I could put all my guys in there: Prescott, Lamb, and Ferguson against Chiefs defense, which is kind of mid range or maybe slightly above mid range.
Yeah. Yeah, you're stacked on Thanksgiving. Yeah, you have 60% of your players are playing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I hadn't even noticed
Right
that.
out of the gate, you get six out of 10 people playing for Thursday. Yeah.
I did, and I didn't even plan it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how it goes here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So yeah,
yeah,
you'll definitely have a very early lead going into Thursday. I'll only have 2 people playing as of right now. I'm still debating on a couple of players.
yeah. So let's see. Let's see our bench players here. So, keep your eye on this one here.
Yep.
Looks like the practice window has opened according to head coach Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
if you get him Owen Hampton back for the playoffs, that would be a huge boost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I intend to start. I intend on starting him if he plays.
Yeah,
He's probably not going to play because remember it's a 21-week window, a 21-day window, so he's got 3 weeks
yeah,
before they have to put him on season-ending IR. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So here Jared Goff is projected at 15.9. Meanwhile, Dak is projected at 19.4. So that's pretty much my. He's at Goff has averaged 17.4, and Prescott has averaged 20.1. So yeah, pretty much almost all my guys will be playing on Thursday.
Mhm.
Let's go to Flynn's matchup with David here. Flynn right now is projected at 151.4 to 112.1. Flynn did win the previous matchup back in week 5 when it was 150.98 to 101.52. And it looks like the only good thing for David is his quarterback, Drake May. Meanwhile, as you can see, all the check marks, the rest of the check marks are over on Flynn's side of the board.
yeah, and even the quarterback, it's only like a 1-point difference.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. Action Jackson is projected at 21.3, 22.4 for Drake May. Looking down at the bench players here, it's got empty space here. Yeah, I would not put Terry McLaurin against that Bronco defense.
It depends on if he's playing or not.
Well, I'd say regardless. I mean, Denver's defense probably be a little bit too tough for those commander receivers, I guess. Let's see here. He's got
Well, you
Joe
do make a
Burrow.
point.
Well, yeah, because that defense has pretty been holding up the Broncos for the better part of the season. So
Yeah, and Washington doesn't have J.D. Daniels in yet. After injury.
yeah, they're still going with Who are they still going with right now?
So,
Mariota.
let's see, Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, right? So still going to have him in there for at least another week until Daniels gets healthy. We're now looking at Adam versus Alex. Um, actually meeting for the first time this season because they haven't met before. So, and Andrew 141.8, 1266 for Putnam here. Looking at the starters, the majority of check marks, of course, over in Andrew's favor.
Yeah. So, although we can say that Adams has Putnam has Jalen Waddle still left on his bench after the Dolphins bye week. Same thing. It's with that as well. So so he's got and he really had a tough go last week because Jalen Waddle was off and Drake London was out, so he was a mess at wide receiver last week.
Yeah, it was terrible. And he's got Waddle projected at 14.4, so I would go ahead and plug him in against that Saints team. And let's see, 17. Caleb Williams gets the Eagles. I'm kind of a little bit on the fence on that one. Yeah, they have the defense, but of course that defense gave up all those 24 points on Sunday against my Cowboys. Still trying to comprehend how all that happened. So that's where the bench players are for that particular matchup. Then we'll see Lucas against Adam here. Right now, there's the projections for that matchup: 141.4 for Lucas, 126.1 for Oliver, and check marks over on Lucas's favor. Do they have any players?
Yeah, I mean everybody's playing this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no buys. So, Tim, you muted yourself. There we go.
I'd say put on Purdy because those are garbage. And maybe over on this side, Justin Herbert against Las Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, how's Lucas? I'd plug him in. So that's what they have there. And last one here, Dino against Casey. Oh my God, look at this preliminary projection right now. Only 0.3 of a point separate these two guys. Take a look at the check marks. Almost just limit slightly in Dino's favor. Jacobs and Smith is questionable, but I think they should be okay to start this week. Looking down at the bench players, Daniel Jones projected 72 to go up against the Houston defense, which has been pretty solid all through the season. Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs against Detroit. I'm kind of thumbs down on Golden and Dobbs. Kind of slightly down a little bit. Kamara against the Dolphins, maybe. But I guess that's pretty much it. And I guess that's pretty much the way we are right now as we go into the next to the last week of our fantasy season. So now we haven't let's see here. We got some got some people want to say hello here. Daniel Berry, our good friend, happy Tuesday. How you doing? And well, Stoneman is checking in with us. Our good friend Brian Snow checking in. And of course, we have our buddy Vampire Luke.
Ooh,
Yeah. 10-0 has become 10-2, losing the number one seed. Oh my goodness.
oh no.
How did that happen? Oh boy. Lost number one seed by a couple of weeks. Said JSN justifying that Jeff grade I gave him. Yeah. He said Brock Picky performance.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Brock
threw 4
Purdy
interceptions, I
performance.
believe.
I knew he threw at least 3, but that was an atrocious performance last night. And I mean, and now we wonder if the 49ers have buyer's remorse about how they handled the quarterback situation over the last few years. I mean, not drafting Trey Lance instead of Mac Jones, and then drafting Brock Purdy. He goes on a run. He's a throwaway for into the Super Bowl. And now the Niners in a resurgent season. They're 7-4, but I think there's a lot to be concerned about that quarterback play, and especially the contract that the Niners gave out. So it could look like an albatross soon, and it's really a shame because Ricky Pearsall, who I have in a couple of my leagues, so he has some really great potential. But if Brock Purdy's not able to find him. Find him deep, then it's going to be a problem. And also the same thing happened with Bryce Young yesterday because he missed a couple of open receivers last night too. So now you got to wonder if the Panthers are going to need a new quarterback in a couple of years. You wonder if the Niners are going to address quarterback. But I mean, the Niners still are probably going to have to address the rest of their roster before they can they can address the quarterback. So it's going to be a challenge for San Francisco if Brock Purdy can't be a difference maker. I'm not saying he's proven himself to be a merchant of having Christian McCaffrey and previously Ayuk and Debo, but so yeah, so some questions need to be raised in San Francisco.
All right. Speaking of questions, here's a good hot topic to talk about, given from our good friend Vampire Luke. Thoughts on Brandon Cooks to the Bills? Yeah, the veteran wide receiver who just signed recently with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I like the fit, especially since Keon Coleman hasn't been doing much of anything at all. Like him not showing up to like a practice one time, it was a coach's decision. He didn't play, and yeah, he might not even play this week either. There's no guarantee of him playing, so Brandon Cooks will be a solid replacement.
Yeah, I mean Josh Allen with the MVP season he had last year, and Tim, you might want to check your mic out for a second. While I bring up these couple of things. One, I mean, because ever since Stephon Diggs left, and he went to Houston, and now he's with New England. Josh Allen's passing numbers have taken somewhat of a hit. And the offense overall hasn't been like what it was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. It's because if you remember, Josh Allen was lacking that big target in the passing game until they traded for Stephon Diggs. Then so that was the case there. I mean, as Tim had to step away and hopefully to fix that mic situation. So you have that. So how we talked about some of the insane fantasy performances that went down over the weekend. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs going off was crazy. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a couple of touchdowns, 167 yards receiving. So he was incredible. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good and there was a lot of bad this week, Natalie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and also, how about some of the offensive numbers the Giants put up yesterday? Over 500 yards of offense, yeah, in a loss, but we got the full Jameis Winston experience: 18 and 36, 366 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 39-yard receiving touchdown. I mean, what on earth
that
is
was
going?
sick. Yeah.
I mean, it's safe to say I did not see that coming. I mean, my cat was dialing up a bag of tricks
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah,
Who are the divas out there dancing their way to the end zone? It was incredible.
Yeah, the
So,
talent on the offense is there. Just the defense needs a lot of work.
Yeah. The stopping the run is a problem, and they don't have. And I think it's a crazy. I mean, the PFF run defense grades I saw from the Giants this week were just ugly.
Oh yeah. I want to get your guys' opinion on the Sunday game where the Eagles were ahead 21-0, and then the unthinkable happened. I mean, I'm still trying to process this. The Cowboys scored 24 unanswered points to win at the last second. Oh my God, that was another one of those games that gave me a heart attack. And as soon as Brandon Aubrey hit the uprights, the game was over. And once again, I felt like this.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
That is exactly how
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. So let me hear your thoughts. I mean, what impressed y'all most? The rise of the Cowboys or the fall of the Eagles?
I mean, there are like a couple of different layers to that. One, the Dallas defense. They get Overshawn back. They make the trade. Make the trades at the deadline. They get key pieces back on defense. And what do you know? Matt Eberflus looks like a competent defensive coordinator. I told you he'd be good with good talent. I didn't understand the insanity Cowboy fans had during the first half of the season about Matt Eberflus. Yeah, the Cowboys defense was bad. So, but it felt like the Cowboys were setting him up for failure. Now that Eberflus has defensive players, is he a good defensive coordinator now that he's got talent? Right?
Well, he did good for this. They just got the players back, and there was a trade that done. They got his players back, plugged him in this past Sunday. They did quite well, but I just got to see what happens on Thursday because they got a very good team coming into AT&T Stadium this week. So we'll just see what happens. If the plan still holds together, then maybe I could change my mind. I mean, our good friend Adam Oliver, it's going to take a lot of convincing for him to kind of get on the bus here, but we all know about how he feels about Eberflus.
Some of you are going to look like the. See this. I mean, again, the nag I have on Cowboys fans is sometimes I question their IQ. Not the smart ones, of course, like you and like you and Adam, but please, I mean, so get some players, get a decent roster, and then you have that. But ultimately, though, I felt as great a win as it was for the Cowboys, it was a much bigger collapse for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, after they scored touchdowns on their first 3 drives. The tush push was in full effect. They couldn't. So they couldn't stop Jalen Hurts whatsoever, and then Kevin Patullo couldn't adjust. He couldn't make the adjustments at halftime, and then Dak to Pickens. Oh my God, what a great stack that was in one of my leagues because Pickens had 146 yards receiving and a touchdown. and Dak had another great game. Dak Prescott was the third ranked quarterback in fantasy last week. 354 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. So yeah, I could not believe Dak Prescott went as low as he did, but I mean in most drafts, but I have him in 2 of my leagues, and I'm in playoff position in those leagues.
So what do you think, Natalie? Was it more about the Cowboys or more about the Eagles?
I think maybe a little bit of a combination of both. I mean, I think slowly but surely, the Cowboys are getting back into the swing of things. I mean, if their players stay healthy, then they might have a legitimate shot of catching up, although it seems unlikely. But this Eagles loss, I think, shows that they're not the team that they once were last season, and I think they will be exposed when it comes to the postseason. I could see several teams knocking them out of contention until they play each other. Like I could see the Lions knocking them out. I could see the Rams knocking them out. I could even see the Seahawks knocking them out.
I think it depends on who gets the 1 seed, and right now the Rams are a game ahead, but the Eagles have tiebreakers over all the other contenders because the Eagles have beaten them all.
Mm.
Including the 3 NFC North contenders, so that they play the other one on Friday in Chicago. But every big comeback, most of the big comebacks of that type usually have a muffed punt, and that happened. As soon as that muffed punt happened, I said, "There's no way Dallas is losing this game." They wound up missing on 4th and goal on that set of downs, but I knew the Eagles flunked the eye test, and I just wonder if I have to recalibrate everything I thought about the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I was ready to come on here and say, Eagles are the best team in the NFC. They had a tough spot against a suddenly improved Dallas roster. So they're up 21-0. Make a statement, kick gas, take names early, set the tone, and then they just gave it away. It's a terrible loss by the Philadelphia Eagles.
So I like what Vampire Luke says here. Any day the Eagles humiliate themselves is a good day. Just a shame it came at a Dallas benefit. And he said we had this comment here from Luke. TBF to the anti-Eberflus Dallas fans. This is the guy who ran a quarterback spy on a Hail Mary for Chicago against Washington last year. And make this statement here. The Eagles aren't as fraudulent as they were in the 2023 season, but they are still in that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So could the Eagles be total frauds?
Unlike 2023, they have a competent defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. So, and the Eagles were playing one of the best offenses in football. So, I think I know how it's going to go again for the Eagles against the Chicago Bears, who are 8-3 and are in first place in their division. So you got that. Some other notable fantasy performers last week. Emmanuel Wilson. I told everyone to pick him up in fantasy. He played a big difference in my victory over Adam. He gave me 26.5 points. In that one, Christian McCaffrey 27.2, Jahmyr Gibbs 55.4 with his ridiculous performance. And hey, Ashton Jeanty had a good day. I wasn't expecting that against the Browns, but he had 8 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown, which kind of was the reason that he scored that high. Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns. James Cook 116 yards rushing and a tutty. I think James Cook had the second most rushing yards in the league last week. So Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins, each of the 2 Browns running backs, they each put up at least 16 PPR points. Kenneth Gainwell 18.2. Those are the big results from running backs. Wide receivers. So Jackson Smith and Jigba and Wan'Dale Robinson with 9 catches, 158 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was just-
and also I did send another trade proposal to Mr. Natali here regarding Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really on the fence. I mean,
I was-
he's on a tear, but then when I look at the playoff, like 15, 16, and 17, it's also favorable for Olave. So I'm really torn. I'm considering countering with Mbuka, but I don't think you want him.
No, he's actually going to be my sit of the week this week because Baker Mayfield's hurt.
Yeah.
And I think the Bucks are fried without him. So, but also the thing about the thing with the Unitally is that you haven't clinched playoffs yet, and you got to get to the playoffs before you get there. So that's why I threw out that trade proposal, because as long as I win, I should win this week. I'll have nothing to play for until week 16. So it's because they get the first round bye, and we did have 2 trades in our league today, and
I pushed them right away. I put them through instantly, so that they're already good to go.
Yeah. So I traded Jaylen Warren, who you gave me in the Jordan Addison trade. I traded Jaylen Warren to David for Troy Franklin. So because I feel pretty happy with what I have at running back, and now I just wanted some receiver depth because I thought I was going to be concerned about that. And then another trade between Andrew and Dino. It's involving a defensive player. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember who got what, but Deebo Samuel went to from Dino to Andrew, and then and then Dino got trying to see what Dino got, but yeah.
And I'm very close on this. I'm thinking about approving it right on the air here. I'm tempted because I like the favorableness of the playoffs. Should I get there? That's the thing. But then yet again,
right.
Wan'Dale Robinson's on a tear.
You got to get there first.
Yeah. But do I feel like I'm going to get there? That's the thing. And because I feel like I will make it, I'm accepting the trade.
Oh, there you go, people.
I'm doing it. I just got to enter the password here, and then I will accept.
Okay,
I like the favorableness.
All right. So I pulled off 2 trades today with the trade deadline about 12 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the latest you could have the trade. I think I did set it to the very last possible week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It just says it's pending. So let's see. League. Let's see. Recent activity. Let me go to. All right. It says I accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Review. I'm not sure if I could put it through instantly on here, though. It's the only thing I don't remember.
Let me see if it's updated here.
Let's see. Oh, wait. Submit. Oh, uphold. Okay. The trade has been upheld. So the roster should be updated right away.
Okay.
Let's see if it is. Yeah, it shows I have Olave.
All right.
Yes, Natali has Olave and Flynn has Robinson.
Yep.
All righty.
It's official. We got it here on the ESPN Fantasy app right here.
Yep.
So two more trades made today. So
Yeah, I don't feel good about it, and I feel good about it at the same time.
Yeah, and I've come in a position where I don't have anything, where I can, where you desperately need the win. So,
Because I do like the favorability. Should I hold on and make the playoffs? Because the 15, 16, and 17, the Saints have Carolina, the Jets, and the Titans, who are all been god awful. Well,
yeah.
maybe the Panthers haven't been that bad, but the other two, yeah.
Yeah. And,
Oh,
and
yeah,
also
definitely.
and also Wandale's got assuming I win the division, Washington, which wouldn't matter for me, but then Minnesota and the Raiders. 16
Yeah, so
and
it's kind of a
17.
draw here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess technically I won the Addison trade because you already got rid of Warren. So I mean, in a way, I kind of won that one.
But also I think but in a way that allowed me to get something I needed for the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Right. So there we go. One more trade made here.
Yeah, that's more than likely the last trade for the season.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's, as you said, there's less than 12 hours left. So
Yeah, I'm just curious. I don't think I could change anything. I don't intend to, unless you guys absolutely want me to push it back. But I don't think I can.
Yeah, I don't think you can. No.
I think you're already locked in. So
Yeah, and can we all so while we continue, can we also talk about like the tight end performances from fantasy while we're doing that? So Hunter Henry last week against the Jets, 7 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Trey McBride, 9 catches, 79 yards. Colston Loveland, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Brenton Strange is back from IR, 5 catches for 93 yards. So Brenton Strange is someone who I would consider picking up on the waiver wire. Colby Parkinson, 4 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown, 14.1. George Kittle, 6 catches, 78 yards. Brock Bowers, 6 for 55. Yeah, so that's everything there. So
yeah, very interesting. A good set of tight ends right there. Especially Colson Loveland and McBride, and who else? What was that one for the Raiders? Brock Bowers. He's all right.
yep.
Just trying to remember the
So,
name. Base.
you can do playoff trades. I see something in here. Interesting.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I'm not going to do that though.
Yeah, do I dare? Nah, probably not.
All right, well,
I could push it back 3 hours. I could push it back 1 week too, but nah, I think we'll leave it. I was just curious.
all right. So, y'all players out there, make sure to get those trades in before your deadline here, so you can make your playoff pushes if you need to.
Yep.
Of course, me being out of the playoffs, the only thing I can do is play spoiler, like I said earlier. So, who knows about that? All right, it is my favorite part of the show. Well, actually, my second favorite part of the show, because my favorite part is when we make our NFL picks. But now it's trivia time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Natalia said he had a question. I know Flynn has a question, and I have a question, which is Thanksgiving related. So, who wants to pitch their question first?
Yeah, I guess I could do mine since I already have my notes here. Oh, never mind. Right, go ahead. Let's see. Who leads the NFL in receptions this season? Okay.
Who leads the NFL in receptions this season?
I think I have an idea.
I think I do too.
All right. I guess I'll do mine next. Yeah, as I told Tim earlier while we were waiting for Flynn, it's about the Giants who made history in the worst possible way. I mean, assuming Flynn didn't see a graphic, he might know this one too potentially. The Giants became the first team in NFL history with to lose 5 games on the road when they lead by 10 points or more. So with that being said, who did the Giants leap over in that category? There are 3 different teams that did it. I just need one of you guys to name one of those 3 teams. Those 3 teams did it 4 times in a single season.
I know one of them, so there's that.
So it's teams that
That has had 4 losses on the road by 10 points or more in a single season.
So where they led by 10 points on the or more on the road, and then eventually lost.
And then they lost.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw a graphic on my news feed, so I figured I would just use that.
Okay, I think I've got one of those teams.
Okay.
And now my question, which is Thanksgiving related, and it's kind of a did you know thing. Did you know that the Chiefs and the Cowboys, who are going to be playing this Thanksgiving, they played against each other at the Old Texas Stadium in Dallas back in 1995, 30 years ago? The Chiefs played the Cowboys in Dallas on Thanksgiving. The final score was Cowboys 24, Kansas City Chiefs 12. Can you remember the 2 head coaches from that game?
I mean, I know the Cowboys won. Just trying to make sure I remember who the Chiefs coach was. I think I have an idea on that as well. So,
All right.
And I'll be here for another 15 minutes more, and then I have to sign off.
So do you have starts and sits this week?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right, here we go then. So here are my starts and sits for week 13 of the NFL. So as I alluded to earlier, my sit of the week is Emeka Egbuka, the wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it has been a lousy last few weeks for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their inability to run the ball without Bucky Irving, and now after the 5-1 start, they've created all the way to a record of 6-5, I believe that their record is now, and now Baker Mayfield has an AC joint sprain, and remember some of the Bucs wins earlier this season came on last minute heroics. So I don't think this could be a real possibility that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers miss the playoffs. So as a result, Emeka Egbuka, and yeah, he is playing a not so great defense, but in the Cardinals, so who have been torn up recently by Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence. So, but if the quarterback play is going to be diminished, so will the play of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My fantasy sleeper of week 13 in the NFL. I am going to I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go tight end here. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Colston Loveland because this could be this might be a game where Caleb Williams might have to throw the ball 35 times if the Eagles are trailing. If they're trailing against the Eagles, because the Bears won't be able to stop. I don't think they'll be able to stop the run. And stop Saquon Barkley. I think that's going to be where with Philly, especially with Philly coming off a loss, they want to get back into the win column. So I think Colston Loveland is going to be in line for like 8, 9, 10 targets, and I think and I wouldn't sleep him on that. And then my start of the week, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, so as I just alluded to, the Bears' run defense is atrocious, and the Bears are 8-3. They're winning games, but if you watch the games, I don't think the Bears are as good as the record indicates. So it is going to be a tough challenge for the Bears going forward. I mean, the Bears have the Eagles, they got the 49ers, they got Green Bay twice, they got Cleveland, and they got Detroit. So it's going to be tough getting to 10, 11 wins, but I think I don't like the matchup for the Bears here against Philly, which means make sure Jalen Hurts is in your line, because Jalen Hurts has been a little up and down, but I think he got some confidence back after after his first half performance on over the weekend against the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. So, for all of you who have taken notes on that, something to think about as we go into the next week of fantasy action. And so, I guess right now we can go ahead and go to yes, we can go ahead and get to our football action for this week, which of course starts on Thanksgiving Day. And we start the 3-course meal on Thanksgiving Day. The first course will, of course, be a big NFC North matchup. Green Bay Packers at Ford Field to take on the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions are at home as 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, this one was a close one for me. I was kind of going back and forth here. Both of these teams are having a solid season. I'm looking for a slugfest here. I think we're going to have a pretty high-scoring game to start off Thanksgiving. Both teams are going to score in the 30s. There's going to be a lot of lead changes. I'm seeing a game-winning field goal at the very last second by Jake Bates, giving the Lions a victory of 33-30.
I can see that. I mean, yeah, I can see that happening. It's going to be a slugfest. Going to be an aerial shootout right here. And I got the same kind of result. Almost have the exact same score as Natalie does. I'm taking Detroit by a score of 30-27.
I'm picking the Packers to win. I don't love this Lions defense. I mean, they got shredded by Jameis Winston of the Giants, and then they were held to just 9 points against the competent Eagles defense. Well, the Packers have a competent offense and a competent defense. So I think major coaching advantage to Green Bay, and I think the quarterback matchup is pretty even. But I think the big question in this game for fantasy players is Josh Jacobs going to play? If he does play, it's going to mean a diminished role for Emmanuel Wilson. So you'll have to keep that in mind. So with that in mind, I will take the Packers to win by a score of 27-24.
All right, Packers 27-24. That's what Flynn says there. Next matchup is my game. Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, the two teams who at one point in their history actually played in the same city. They, of course, had the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Texans from 1960 to 1963. When Lamar Hunt decided to relocate to Kansas City, and they became the Chiefs anyway. The Chiefs go into AT&T Stadium as 3-point favorites. Kansas City and Dallas, basically, they do the same thing. They had to come from behind to get their victories last week. Yes, that defense with those guys coming back from injury, with the guys that got from the trade deadline, they started looking pretty good. That Kansas City defense is a little bit suspect. So if I had to give a fantasy start, I would start maybe Dak Prescott, maybe start George Pickens. I don't really want to touch CeeDee Lamb, because last week he had 3 drop passes. And they were all surefire passes once. They usually catches all the time, every time. But those 3 passes, they kind of a concern to me. So, but I'm feeling confident it's going to be a last-second field goal, just like last week. I got Cowboys 33, Chiefs 30 in a very crucial game.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on this one, Tim. This one is going to be another high-scoring slugfest. I mean, I'll give the Chiefs credit for making that comeback against the Colts. I mean, they're gonna try to do the same thing with Dallas, but in the end, they're gonna get too cocky. They're gonna get a little overconfident. In the end, the Cowboys are gonna get a game-winning touchdown, and they'll win this game 30-26.
I'm with you guys. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win. I think Dallas is playing much better defensively than they did, and look, yeah, give the Chiefs credit for how they came back against the Colts, but man, were there some calls some rough ball calls that favor the Chiefs in that one. So yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are that great, and I think the Cowboys are playing much better than they did earlier in the season when the defense was inexplicable. So I think big game for Dak, big game for Pickens, and I think it's getting much tougher for the Chiefs to run the ball on this defense with now the Quentin Williams, Logan Wilson, and Overshawn are in there. So I'm going to take the Cowboys to win this game. I actually have them winning pretty comfortably. I have them winning by 10 points. 27-17. Give me the Cowboys to beat the Chiefs.
And let's hear from Mr. Parcells and Jerry Jones.
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? What?
Because I've danced with the devil, the financial devil, and lived to tell about it.
And now from the coach, Jim.
From the coach, Jimmy. But I think there's one more thing I want before we move on.
I want me some glory hole.
Yep.
And so with all that being out of the way, now we can move on to the Thanksgiving night game. A battle in the AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. And the Ravens are at home, and they're at 7-point favorites. And actually, I think that sounds about right. I mean, I see them winning that. Cincinnati still, the Joe Burrow situation is still lingering on. Now you got Jamar Chase coming off of his suspension, I think, or was it last week? I can't remember. But
he's coming back this week.
Yeah,
he's back this week.
Yeah, Joe Burrow could be back this week too. They're talking about that as a possibility.
Possibility of Burrow coming back. That could be interesting. That might change up things a little bit, but I don't think it will affect the outcome of this game. I still think Baltimore has a better offense and a defense. I say that Cincinnati just barely covers the spread. Well, actually, it's no, I have it written down here. Baltimore is going to win and cover. Give me the Ravens over the Bengals by a score of 28-20. Screw you, Baltimore. So, oh well.
Yeah, I'm in agreement on the Ravens here. Yeah, even if Joe Burrow comes back, it's going to take him a little while to get back into the swing of things. Very, very hard to play like your normal self right out of the gate after an injury. So they're going to put up some points, but the Ravens are going to put up a lot more. I see the Ravens winning this one 32-20.
I'm grabbing the point. I'm grabbing the point here with Cincinnati. I think I feel like Baltimore is not. I think is not as much offensively because remember Lamar Jackson is still not 100%, and he won't be able to scramble effectively for some time now. So I think that's going to be a concern, and then. And then you mentioned that the Jamar Chase factor. I think Jamar Chase is going to put up some big numbers against Baltimore. I could see see him having 150 yards receiving and a touchdown in this ball game. I think it's going to be a terrific game, but I think Baltimore is going to win. But I'm going to grab the points of Cincinnati. I'm gonna say 30-27. Give me Baltimore over Cincinnati.
All right, then. And now we go to the Black Friday game. That's right. We got another Black Friday game. We have the Chicago Bears heading into Philadelphia to take on those chickens. And the Eagles are 7-point favorites in this one. And you're mentioning Philadelphia, the big win, the big lead, and then they lose it against the Cowboys. Chicago's been pretty good. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Philadelphia will win by a score of 20-21. I'm going Philadelphia straight up.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I was tempted to pick the Bears to cover the spread, but I think after that loss after losing to the Cowboys, they're going to want revenge. They're going to play much better, and they're going to easily win this one by 2 scores. I'm going to go 26-16.
Yeah, I'm tend to think that Eagles -7 is one of the best bets of the week. The Eagles here, because I don't think the Bears are as good as their record indicates. The Eagles going to go back to what they do best, and they could do it, and they have a favorable matchup to do it. And also, the Eagles will be wearing their black uniforms, and they usually do really well with those unis. So I'm going to pick the Eagles to win and cover this game. I have them winning by a score of 30-17.
All righty then. Well, that takes care of Thanksgiving. That takes care of Black Friday. Now we go to the Sunday matchups. We're going to start with interesting matchup here. The Los Angeles Rams against the Carolina Panthers. The game is in Charlotte, and the Rams are 10.5-point favorites.
Yeah, this one I couldn't circle Rams fast enough. They're looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. I think they have the potential to go all the way to the Super Bowl if they keep this up. They got a fantastic core of wide receivers. I think McMillan on the other side, he's having a decent rookie season, but the Rams team is just too good. Yeah, look at what that defense did last week. Whew. They put up huge fantasy numbers. They got a couple of interceptions. They got a pick 6, and that led to a touchdown. I think a lot, and then they sacked the quarterback a few times. The Rams are going to do this same exact thing. They're going to win this one easily, 31-16, and this is my lock of the week.
Oh, give me a second.
Give me a second. All right, so Natalie is locking up those Rams. So what do you say, Flynn?
I couldn't circle the Rams fast enough. I think the Rams. I don't think anyone in the NFL is playing better than the Rams. They clobbered Tampa on national TV. It's going to be. And you now have people thinking the Rams the most complete, well-built team in the NFL. Kudos to Les Snead. Kudos to Sean McVay for building such a powerhouse roster and a powerhouse organization. Yeah, I think the Panthers proved themselves last week that they are pretenders. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game by a score of 31-13, and this also, guys. It's my lock of the week.
Well, how about this? So both of you guys are locking the Rams. I'm going with the Rams too. Pretty much for everything you two said. Although this is not my lock of the week, that'll be coming up a little bit later. But I guess you could say if there is a double up game of the week, this would be mine. I'm going to take the Rams. We're taking the Rams to double up the Panthers 28-14. And
All right,
so with that, we
yeah,
go.
this one. So sorry, yeah, this one will be my last pick. I'm gonna send the rest of them in the chat.
Okay.
I'll still be here while I'm typing, so you can. I'll talk on this one, but go ahead. You guys start on this one, and I'll type in my picks.
We got the 49ers going into Cleveland against the Browns. And the Niners are coming in at 5.5-point favorites, which I think maybe I think that number's just a tad bit too small. I think I got the 49ers. They're still doing okay, hanging on to a glimmer of playoff hopes. Meanwhile, Cleveland's Cleveland. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Niners over the Browns 26-17.
Yeah, my score is going to be 49ers 27-20.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the lowest scoring game in the week. I don't know about Brock Purdy and the level of play. He's at and then you have the Browns, so who gave up just 10 points last week. So I think if you have the Browns defense, make sure you start them. I think this is a good matchup for you. I don't like how the 49ers played last week despite the win. So I think it's going to be an ugly one. I'm going to pick the 49ers to win this game 16-9. And that, my friend, what is that?
Garbage game.
Garbage.
It's the garbage game of the week.
Very interesting right there. Of course, I think I got a different one coming up later. But anyway, right now we're going to head to Indianapolis. The Colts are going to be home against the Houston Texans, and the Colts are 4.5-point favorites. Houston's defense is doing pretty good. Indianapolis kind of brought back down. Right at the end, Indianapolis had it, but then of course the Chiefs took it away from them. But I don't think it's really much to worry about. They can just shake it off, just go forward. But I'm barely taking Houston with the points here because of that defense here. Actually, this is my point for game of the week. I'm taking 24-21. I'm taking the Colts with the win, but I'm barely taking the Texans with the points. So, what do you guys say?
I'll go. So I thought this was one of the toughest games of the week for me to pick because it's a divisional game. It's a 4.5-point spread here in this one, but I gotta tell you, I think the Texans defense against the Colts offense, I kind of feel like it's gonna be a wash. I think I think the Colts are gonna win this game with their defense because as good as Davis Mills has been the last couple of weeks, his results haven't happened on the road against a tough opponent yet. I think the Davis Mills love fest ends on Sunday. I'll take the Colts to win by a touchdown, 27-20 over the Houston Texans. It was the toughest game of the week for me to pick.
Yeah. My score here is actually very close, almost the exact same. But only difference is I potentially see this game going into overtime. I think Jonathan Taylor will get the touchdown in OT. The Texans will fail to score, and the Colts will win because of that. Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta step out. I have work early in the morning. You guys okay with doing some trivia before I leave?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, we can go ahead and answer the question. So it was okay. So who leads the NFL in interceptions this season?
Yeah, my guess for this one is going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seattle Seahawks.
That is exactly who I thought of.
So you're going with Jackson Smith and Jigba, right?
Yep.
Ah,
So the answer is Christian McCaffrey.
oh shoot! I was considering him right at the very last second.
So Run CMC has more receptions.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
It's Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nakua, and Trey McBride are tied for second with 80.
So we were that close.
Yeah,
we're
but
close.
but Christian McCaffrey has more.
Hmm. I guess.
All right.
Here, Tim, let's do yours next.
Okay. My question is about the Cowboys and the Chiefs meeting on Thanksgiving at Texas Stadium back in 1995, where the Cowboys won that game by a score of 24-12. The question is, who were the two head coaches in that game?
Jeez, that was a long time ago. I think I was 9, so I don't know if I would remember that far back.
Well, all right. So let's see if Natalie comes up with the answer, because I know Natalie's still typing in his picks, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, yeah. I mean, because I think I know them. So
Okay. Yeah. My picks are there.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, we got him. So
I can't think of their names. I mean, yeah. I don't really keep track of coaches' names. That's the only problem.
yeah.
But go ahead, Flynn. I'll let you take it from here.
All right, so I know for the Cowboys, it's Barry Switzer, right? Because he took over after Jimmy Johnson left. And then the Chiefs, I believe it was still Marty Schottenheimer.
So Natalie really couldn't come up with an answer. Flynn's going with Barry Switzer and Marty Schottenheimer. Yes, it was. It was Barry Switzer for the Cowboys and Marty Schottenheimer, God rest his soul, for the Chiefs. And now you have the Thanksgiving game, and there's another Schottenheimer, only this time he's not with Kansas City, he's with Dallas. And that's, of course, it's Brian. So there's that there. So did we
All right. Yeah. Just me left. Yeah. I mean, yeah. This question strictly comes off a random photographic that I saw in my newsfeed. Yeah. The Giants became the first team in NFL history to lose 5 games on the road when they were up by 10 points or more. 3 teams have 4. Name one of those 3 teams.
Well,
So yeah, basically the Giants leapfrogged over 3 different teams to have 5 losses by 10 points or more.
I would imagine one of them would be my Cowboys.
Okay, you're going with the Cowboys. All right, Flynn, what do you think one of those 3 teams are?
The Patriots.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna start at the back. In 1990, that was done by the New York Jets. In 1998, it was done by the Indianapolis Colts. All right, now moment of truth.
Peyton Manning's rookie year that year.
Yep. All right, moment of truth. One of you is correct. The year was 2009, and this was done by the New England Patriots.
Yay.
Oh boy.
So Flynn got both trivia questions correct. Yep. Those 3 teams each did that 4 times. The 2025 Giants are now in the record book in the worst possible way.
Infamously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if the Giants did not blow all those leads, they would have 7 wins right now.
But they don't
Right.
because they can't stop the run.
All right. I have time to do one more game, and then I gotta head out.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
the
let's
Saints?
go to the Saints and the Dolphins. From Hard Rock Stadium, Miami is 5.5-point favorites. Well, you got these teams here that's been kind of having bad seasons. Not too terribly bad. 5.5-point spread for Miami. I just don't know who to pick here, so I just got to go with the home team, as an old friend of mine would say. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Miami. I say Miami will win and cover. Let's call it 27-21. Give me the Dolphins over the Saints. Fins up, baby.
Yeah, I'm actually leaning towards the Dolphins too on this one. Somehow the Dolphins have been streaky lately. They've been winning some games here and there. They're on a tear, but a little too late. The Saints came off of a win too, but it's not going to matter much. I do have the Saints actually covering this one, but the Dolphins are going to win this one in a fairly low-scoring game of 24-22.
Upset special. Give me the Dolphins to win the game. I just think
Upset. The Dolphins are favored. Or do you mean the Saints?
I'm
Dolphins
picking
favored
the
to win.
Saints.
Gotcha.
So
Going with the Saints.
I'm picking the Saints to win. I'll put it up, but look, the Dolphins have no pass rush, and Tyler Shuck's best performance came against a team with no pass rush in the Carolina Panthers, and the Saints actually did a good job of containing Bijan Robinson despite the loss to Atlanta on Sunday. So. I think the team that runs the ball better, I think it's gonna be the Saints. So with that, whether it's Devin Neal, who's probably gonna be starting over Alvin Kamara because Kamara's hurt, I just think that's gonna be the thing. So make sure that you pick up Devin Neal in fantasy this week, and I think the Saints will wind up winning this game by a score of 23-20. So yeah, upset special.
Woo! Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I have the Saints covering, but yeah, wow.
Ooh, kinky.
All right. On that note, guys, I gotta head out. I got work in the morning, so yeah, I'll see you guys next week for week 14. And both of you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, buddy. You too.
All right.
And so me and Flynn will carry on with the next game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets. Over at MetLife Stadium, the Falcons are actually coming in at 2.5-point favorites. This is another game where I can't really pick a winner, so I'll just have to go with a team with a better coach and. Well, which one has a better coach?
I know, right? Obviously, because
I mean, you go with Glenn, or you go with
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris, or well, I'm just gonna take Atlanta for one selfish reason. I'm just gonna take Atlanta. Let's call it 26-24. I'm gonna go with Atlanta just for my boy Bijan Robinson from Texas. 26-24. Give me the Falcons.
Man, I just think this is such a tough game for me to pick here in this one because with the Falcons this year, it's always been 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, and they took a step forward with their victory over the Saints last week, but
Right.
I just think the Jets have responded actually pretty well. The last few weeks, I think Tyrod Taylor gives them a better chance to win games than Justin Fields does. So, you know what, I'm gonna pick the Jets. I think they'll win this game by a field goal. I'm gonna go 19-16, the Jets over the Falcons.
Yeah, but okay, but either way, this is actually mine. I wouldn't want to touch this one if I was even paid to, so I wouldn't really do that. Moving on right now, we have the Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers over at Raymond James Stadium. Buccaneers are 3-point favorites, and I think earlier you mentioned not recommending to start Emeka Egbuka. I probably wouldn't. Of course, Chris Godwin's still having injury problems. Mike Evans, they've had problems. Bucky Irving, he's had problems. But I don't see that many problems with Arizona. Actually, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go take Arizona, and I can see Trey McBride get maybe 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to take Arizona over Tampa Bay. Give me a score 27 to 23. Yeah, 27-23. I'm taking Arizona to win and cover.
I'm reluctantly going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I said what I said about Emeka Egbuka and all of that, but you know what the Cardinals are? They're just they're just a bad team, and bad teams find ways to lose games, and the way the Cardinals have lost games said that this year has come on the theater of the absolute absurd. This season, so because that loss to Tennessee was brutal. The way they lost to Seattle, both times, you're thinking about the game against the game they lost in overtime to the Jaguars. That was brutal in and of itself. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bucs to win this game by a score of 20-16. I think Teddy Bridgewater makes just enough plays to win this one.
Well, alrighty then. Let's see. Where was that chat here? Where he? Okay. He said, "Oh, Falcons over Jets 21-18. That's what Natalie said, and that's his garbage game of the week. We ain't gonna play that again." He says, "We just talked about Arizona, Tampa Bay." Did he? I don't think he mentioned anything about that because I only see the remaining games here. No, I don't think he mentioned anything about Arizona and Tampa Bay. But anyway, moving on to the AFC South matchup. Jaguars and Titans over at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Jags are 6.5-point favorites.
Yep.
Let's just face it. Tennessee is they're just begging to get the #1 pick again. And Jacksonville, they're doing okay. They're still holding on to a spot here in the playoffs. I'm just going to go ahead and say Jacksonville wins and covers by a score of 20-13.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee always plays Jacksonville tough. I mean, if you look at 2 years ago, where the Jaguars completed their inexplicable collapse to Tennessee, and then but these are division rivals, and Tennessee is going to try and play them tough. They played Seattle a lot tougher than people realize, and Cam Ward has actually played pretty well over the last couple of weeks. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna grab the 6.5 with the Titans, but I think the Trevor Lawrence makes a couple of more big throws. I'll take the Jaguars to win this game by a score. I think it's gonna be a pretty. We'll have to see about Brian Thomas and his injury situation, but give me the Jags to win this one by a score of 27-24.
And I think Natalie said the Jags will win by a score of 27-17. So that's what he says about that one. Meanwhile, we go to Seattle. The Seahawks are hosting the Vikings. And Seattle is 10.5-point favorites. And yeah, I have to agree. I don't think JJ McCarthy is just ain't quite ready, or may not be the future that Minnesota was really looking for. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold has just revived his career in Seattle after he had a great year with Minnesota. And this, of course, is his revenge game, I guess. I'm going to say Seattle wins and covers this one quite well. Give me the Seahawks over the Vikings by a score of 30-19.
Oh, I mean, so barely covering the 10.5-point spread because they would win by 11.
Barely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take Seattle to win. Obviously, the Sam Darnold revenge game. I think how the Vikings abandoned the QB situation. And remember, it usually takes a couple of years for quarterbacks or to recover from ACL tears. So or injuries like that. So I should not have been surprised on that. I was very disappointed that I took the cheese on the Vikings this year, where I should have known in my heart I was that they weren't going to do anything this year. So I'm going to take the Seahawks to win this game by a score of 27-13 and to cover the 10.5-point spread.
And Natalia says Seahawks will beat the Vikings by a score of 29-17. And with that, we will move on to what's our next game here?
I'm pulling it up in just a second here. We got this game.
We have the battle of AFC West teams here. The Las Vegas Raiders is heading to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, and the Chargers are 9.5-point favorites. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good one. As we mentioned earlier, Omarion Hampton's got the 21-day window to practice and kind of get himself back into the lineup. Las Vegas is just a mess. Even though they do have some talent, they do have Ashton Jeanty. Of course, he was pretty much silenced last week against the Cowboys. I got Brock Bowers, one of the best young tight ends in the league. Well, he hasn't really been doing good this year. But I just had to circle the Chargers immediately. Justin Herbert and those guys, they're still good, doing great. I think they're still holding on to it like a mid seed in the AFC playoffs. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Chargers over the Raiders by a score of 28-13. And guess what?
This is your lock of the week, huh?
I'm locking the Chargers.
I mean, I could see how you're doing it because based on how dreadful of how dreadful that was, but I am a little concerned though about the Chargers based upon what happened a couple of weeks ago against the Jaguars, and they only scored 6 points against them. They had nothing going in the running game. The tackles. Not having the tackles plays a role here, so I'm going to grab the points of the Raiders. I don't see much of this one. This was my second leading candidate for garbage game, but I'm going to take the Chargers to win by a score of 17-13.
Uh-huh. And Natalie is saying he's taking the Chargers by a score of 25-13. So that's how that goes out now. Next we're going to a good one here. Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Pittsburgh, Buffalo is 3.5-point favorites in this one. Flynn, let me hear your take first.
I'm picking the Steelers to win the game outright. And look, it took me 12 weeks to figure out the Pittsburgh Steelers because prior to last week I was 0-10 picking games against the spread involving the Steelers. I mean, I just couldn't get them right on a weekly basis, but I think I finally got them right this week when I picked the Bears to cover the 2.5-point spread. The Steelers have enough talent to win games on defense. And they're going to have inconsistent play on offense to lose some games. Well, the Steelers scored 28 points last week, but it was not enough to beat Caleb Williams and the Bears. But I think I think this is another tough matchup for the Bills. So the Bills' offensive line against the Steelers' defensive line, I think it's going to be a major advantage for the Steelers. So when you have Highsmith and T.J. Watt in there, who by the way surpassed his brother J.J. Watt on the sacks list with J.J. Watt on the call on CBS, so that was a cool full circle moment. And I just believe the Bills are frauds. I think the Bills Super Bowl window is closing and it's closing fast. So yeah, give me the Steelers to win this game by a score. The score I have for this one is 26-24. So yeah, it's another upset special.
And that second one is for me as well. Because everything that you just said, it took you 12 weeks to figure out the Steelers. Well, it's taken me 12 weeks to figure out the Bills. And like you just said, the Bills are frauds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not quite the team that they've been for the last couple of years. On top of that AFC East division, they have slipped, they've slided, and I don't know if adding Brandon Cooks to that roster is going to do him any good. I think he's getting old. He's been around for a little too long. I am taking the Steelers over the Bills by a score of 28-24. So, let's take a quick look and see what Natalie said. Oh, this is point spread game of the week. He's taking the Bills. He's 31-28. He's taking the Bills with the win, but he's taking the Steelers with points. We'll just have to see there, but I think there's something fishy in Denmark, and I think the Steelers are going to take that one here. Cause,
in Denmark?
Yeah, something's rotten in Denmark, and we're going to figure it out. But it's not actually in Denmark; it's in Pittsburgh.
Huh. The Danish it was we call in TikTok these days they call it the Danish deception.
The Danish deception.
Is that if you have the chance to take a look at the Danish deception that's going around social media. So I'll have you look after the show.
I gotcha. Okay, we have the Sunday night game, Broncos and Commanders. From the nation's capital, Denver comes in at 6.5 point favorites. Uh, this is almost a mismatch. I mean, this one's almost unfair. I mean, it's just a very good team going against a very, very hurt team because of their injuries. I am going to go ahead and make this short and sweet. I'm taking the Broncos over those Commanders. I'm going to say, what, 6.5 here. Let's see, 27. Give me, give me 30 to 22. I'm taking the Broncos over the Commanders.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an RJ Harvey special on Sunday night because it's the second time this month that Sunday Night Football is going to Washington. It's going to be the second time the Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth crew. By the way, Chris Collinsworth called his 500th NFL game on Sunday night, so it was illustrious career. So congratulations to Chris Collinsworth. So.
Yeah.
But game 501 will be I think will be a little bit like game 500. It's gonna be a bloodbath that favors the better team with the better coach. So I'm going to take the Broncos to win the game by a score of 37 to 20. I think RJ Harvey is going to go off in this game. The Commanders can't do anything. But Bo Nix, I think a monster game for Cortland Sutton, monster game for the Melonheads newly acquired Troy Franklin. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win 37 to 20.
All right.
And finally,
Natalie is taking the Broncos 30 to 23. And the last game is your game. It's the New York Football Giants against the New England Patriots at the Big Razor Blade in Gillette Stadium. And the Patriots come in at 7.5 point favorites. And yeah. What started off as promise for the the Giants is just now just become like a. I don't mean to really gross you out here, bro, but it's almost like looking at a plate of someone's puke.
Yeah, my gosh. I mean, with all the blown leads they had, and Shane Bowen finally getting canned, but now it will be nice for the Giants to actually add up to bring in guys that can stop the run. For once, because for 7 of the last 8 years, the Giants have ranked in the bottom 8 in the NFL in rush defense, and they just refuse to address that problem, and it's been killing the Giants for so many years.
Yeah, I mean, you got the injury problems with Jackson Dart. You got the injury problems with Malik Neighbors. Now, Malik Neighbors was a receiver I was high on this year, but it looks like he's gone down to that one. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots over the Giants 31-23.
Yeah.
And the tally says 31-22 Patriots. Oh, he almost had the same scores I do.
Yeah, I'm actually I mean this was a tricky one a game to pick against the spread. Now don't get me wrong, I think the Patriots are going to win. But I'm going to grab the points here with the New York Football Giants. So because the Giants have believe it or not, the Giants have lost but covered the spread each of the last 3 weeks. And I don't think this week's going to be any different. The way the Patriots played against Cincinnati, that's not going to cut it in the playoffs. They were too inconsistent on offense, and then you have a Giants offense, whether it's going to be led by Jackson Dart or led by Jameis Winston. I think that they'll be able to air it out. I think it's going to be a big game for Wan'Dale Robinson, another guy the other guy I acquired in fantasy this week. I will be putting Wan'Dale into my starting lineup this week. So I'm excited about that. So with all this in mind, I'm going to take the Patriots to win, but the Giants to cover 27. I can pick them by a score of 31-26.
Okay. Oh, Dashy earlier left a trivia question that we had overlooked here, so we'll quickly answer his question here. Which running back has the most passing yards of all time? So obviously he's going with the halfback option play,
Ooh.
which usually is a pretty sneaky play if when you think about it.
Yeah.
Which running back has the most passing yards of all time?
That's-
Wow.
I'm stumped on this one.
I think I am too, but if I had to pick one, Dashy, I think I'm going to. It's just a wild guess. It's probably off the top of my head. I'm just going to say Emmett Smith.
Hmm.
And so while we're waiting on Dashy to, okay, Vampire has a possible answer. Walter Payton. I hadn't thought of Sweetness, but while we're waiting for Dashy to get his answer here, let us go to the playoff machine. It's time to enter our picks into the playoff machine and see how things would go if the playoffs were to begin very next week. Oh, here's your answer. Sammy Ball had 8,379 passing yards.
But he played with the Bears in the 40s.
Ah, okay. Very interesting question, Dashy. Thank you very much, bro. Okay, so now, if my memory serves me correctly, here is the way that the playoffs would look right now. Me and Natalie were kind of discussing this a little bit before you jumped on the air earlier, so that's what they're looking like now. So I think the majority of this one, Green Bay and Detroit. I think I said Detroit, you said Green Bay, and I think Natalie said Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll punch that in. I think all of us went with the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all went with Baltimore over Cincinnati.
Yep.
Eagles over Bears. I think we took that one. I think we picked the Niners over the Browns. Jags over Titans. Colts over Texans. I went Dolphins over Saints. What did you say? Dolphins or
I took the Saints.
so? And Natalie took. I can't remember what he took.
I think he took the Dolphins.
Okay, so the majority would be the Dolphins right there. I think. Okay, I took the Falcons. And oh boy. Well, let me just get to the ones that we know we have. We picked the Patriots over the Giants. We picked the Broncos over the Commanders. I think a majority of us took no. You took the Steelers, right? Steelers over
Yeah.
Bills.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the majority because Natalie picked the Bills in that one. I think we all picked the Chargers.
Yep.
Okay, I picked Seattle over Minnesota.
Yeah, all of
think
us did.
We all did. Okay. Bucks over Cardinals. I took the Cardinals.
Yep.
Okay, we'll take that. And we took the Rams over the Panthers.
Yep.
What about the
You
Falcons and the Jets?
you picked Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay, where's the one that we gotta go to this here? We gotta get this here. Did we catch everything? I think we have. So we'll just review this here. Yeah, we got that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, we got the entries here. Now, if all those teams win, then this is what the playoffs would look like the very next week. We'd still have number one, New England in the AFC. Then you have number 2 seed Denver, which would take on the number 7 seed Pittsburgh. And then you have a number 3 seed Indianapolis, which would take on number 6 seed LA Chargers. Then the 4th seed, the Baltimore Ravens, would take on the number 5 seed, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's how that would look. Over on the NFC side, you have the Rams at the top seed. Number 2, Philadelphia. They would take on number 7, Chicago. Number 3, Detroit. Over number 6, San Francisco. Then you have number 4, Tampa Bay against number 5, Seattle. So that's how they would shape up if all the picks that we made were correct. But we're getting closer and closer to the NFL playoffs. Of course, we have this week and next week before our fantasy playoffs begin. So that's what oh, what's this here? What did Bercy? Sammy Ball wasn't a running back?
Yeah, but also I think the way they play was that there were a lot of halfback throws in the day. I mean, because like those systems were a lot different back then.
Okay, I got you there. So that's one of the all-time greats there. So thanks once again to Dashy with his question, and thanks to all you guys for watching us. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention something. Hey, Dashy. No bye teams this week. In fact, I think we're done with them, are we?
No, you have 4 teams on bye week 14.
4 teams on the bye next week. Okay, so we'll take care of those. On our next show this week. Yeah, we'll be back here next Tuesday on the 2nd of December. December coming already. The weather may be colder, but the action's going to get a little bit hotter. So y'all just stick around for that. Of course, don't forget about Hooked on Sports. Natalie released an episode earlier today, or was it late last night? I was just listening to some of it right before going on the air.
Yep, this morning I dropped it.
Yeah, this morning he dropped it, and he'll be dropping his NFL Hooked on Sports in the next day or so. Don't forget to get him on Apple iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and of course on his YouTube channel right there. And of course, I will be back with you guys tomorrow night with Alex and Lucas for the Pain and Game Pick'em show. And I guess that's going to do it for our show. So I guess with that, we'll just go ahead and put a bow on this episode. And I'm going to put something on my throat before I go to bed. So hope y'all sleep a little better. So on behalf of Mr. John Flynn and our good friend John Natelli, my name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the games. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Make it a good one. As always, be a good sport. See y'all, and happy Thanksgiving.